Is this thing on? Can you hear me? Is anybody out there? Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's when we can kick it. Everything is going down. They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, Roy Anthony.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Man, thank you for coming back in, man, to the Roy Anthony Show. Leon dealing up. What's up, my brother? What's up with you, man? We want to say sometimes we have these glitches because we have people from all over the United States jumping in, and everybody knows that I've been all over the US, and want to say what's up, Leon, man, and been grateful because I'm out here in Long Beach. Now I've been all over the United States. Anybody seen since September of last year, man? I was in Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, kicked in Memphis a few times. Got some cool people there. I'm gonna give a shout out to my sister Alana Barbie with Poppin' Barbie Popcorn, and my man DJ Tyrone, and we got AJ out there and King Mo, and then we have Christina Carter. She be coming in. That's one of our co-stars of the show, the Roy Anthony Show down there in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Then we have my man Big Hank, who's the legendary co-star with me and stuff. He's here in Long Beach. And so if you're paying attention Tuesday, our shows every Tuesday and Thursday. And we pride ourselves for being able to have conversations, and it's not a confrontation, it's a conversation. We pride ourselves doing being able to tackle subjects. Leon has asked me, do you have anything coming up in LA? Yeah, a few things, man. I got you. And so a lot of people been asking me about when I'm performing next. Matter of fact, me and Big Hank just had a big performance about a month ago in Memphis, Tennessee, and one of the cinematographers who came out and filmed it, they've been editing. Matter of fact, they just completed the editing. Y'all gonna see a new concert of yours truly, Roy Anthony, and my man Big Hank, who featured for me and did a whole hour. People love me, and so whole new material. So if you know me for my past materials, I also want to give a shout out to our platform, which was created. The Woe Entertainment was created especially for servicemen that were service people, men and women who would come back from serving and find themselves in seem like situations that they went over and fought for, to come back and thinking that their lives doesn't matter. And we have a lot of high tendency of suicide, especially from our veterans. And so what we did was Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp, who is the creator of the Woe Entertainment, along with the co-creator Goose, and the Gorilla Glue that keeps it together, our social producer, Blue Phoenix. So then when they brought me on, they talked to me, and they needed some Lowry seasoning salt. So I brought in the flavor too, you know what I'm saying? But I've learned a lot. If you watch the Woe Entertainment, you can catch us on Facebook, YouTube. We're coming through StreamYard. You can always Google me up, comedian Roy Anthony, or you can reach out to me on royanthonylive.com, and somebody will get back to you and contact you if you want to book Roy Anthony or know where our next performances are. And matter of fact, we're in the middle of we're building up a major studio, and I'm a person who don't like to really talk about things until it's completed. I'm not a person who's going to talk about things and don't get it done. So we with you for a whole hour. You know, we're 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on the Pacific Coast time, and East Coast time is 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And so Tuesday we was talking about spirits and demons, and we had a guy on one of our previous shows, a white guy. He was kind of what people would say racist remarks, down with all blacks, white power and all that. And instead of us combating it with like, I could have got shrewd with it and stuff, but then it just brought me to the same level as them. And we start recognizing that it's not the person, it's the demons. We all are affected by it. So we took a challenge of recognizing if a demon is popping up in yourself or in somebody else. It can just be something that irritates you, and that in something in you be like, oh, you need to check that mug. You need to tell them, right? So we took a 72-hour challenge, and it seems like, all right, I'm gonna give you an example. So as soon as we took the challenge, I was coming into the parking lot, and my cousin had to come in, and I was going to come on behind him. So I'm waiting for him to go on and park to turn into the same driveway, and this car just came in from behind me, just cut me off, backed up, held us all up so he can pull in. So I'm like, what? So I pulled my car on up, and I'm waiting for this dude to come out because my mind is saying, check this motherfucker. You about to have me have a wreck, me and my cousin, because you trying to hurry up, and he on the cell phone too. So he gets out, then he ain't even acknowledging like, oh, my bad, whatever. And I want to, something's like, BA, you feel me? And I want to say something. He was a little old dude too. He wasn't paying attention, probably like 21, 22. He ain't, he on his phone, like he don't have no type of care in the world when he know what he just did. And that demon was rising up in me, man. As soon as I went to say something, it was like the spirit told me, hey, remember you doing the 72-hour challenge. And I had to recognize that demon was popping up in me to want to say something to him. And this is what today's subject is. Have you took a challenge, or are you on a challenge? So a lot of people was jumping into challenges. I've seen people pour ice water over each other. I've seen all these different type of situations and stuff. It doesn't never seem like it's positive, whatever. So we said we was going to take a 72-hour challenge of not recognizing that it's the person, but the demons inside that person that arises up. Demons of confusion, demons of I gotta check this person. How dare they talk to me like that? It's all different type of scenarios. Now, yesterday I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and they was talking about this movie that Tariq Lee Henson is in, where for a few years, I guess 3 or 4 years, her old husband, who had an affair on her, wasn't doing nothing, and she was fretting about losing her mama's house. And the dude, when it all came down, she wanted him out the house. But what was trip is that his idea, struck gold. Now, the woman lost her house. He kicked him out, got his stuff in a plastic bag. And I'm getting to a point because the lady, when the lady came in, that's our my co-star. She just came in. Let me bring her on in. What's up, Miss?
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm okay. How y'all doing?
All right, I'm doing fine. Hey, waiting for you. And I know Big Hank sometimes got to do stuff for the Lord, right? Boy, I have
Yeah.
a surprise for you.
Do you? What's going
Yeah.
on?
Wait a minute. First, though, they people, I was getting comments of what happened today. What's going on with Miss Uniqueness Tuesday? Was she laying down? And I was like, I don't know.
Was I laying down? Yeah.
Yeah, they said
I'm just getting over COVID.
yeah.
So yeah.
And I'm glad she's a warrior, y'all. Man, we constantly praying for you and stuff like that. I was in the studio
Yeah.
with Big Ski, who does the introduction, and you should
Mhm.
see what he did with you. I said, they had brought it to me, and I was gonna play it. It's on the flash drive, but I'm gonna put it on with some pictures and stuff, right? But
Okay.
he called it was all Christina Carter. But I was bringing up this subject, Miss Uniqueness. I was just talking about because today's subject is about challenges that you are taking or have took. And I was bringing up about this movie that I seen with Tariq, what's her name, Tarash B. Henson, where she
Mhm.
was married to this guy, and it seemed like they was living in the house her mama left her, and
Mhm.
he, and she thought that he wasn't no being no good because he had an affair, and he ended up starting, anyway, he ended up getting hired by his brother-in-laws that he took off on a truck so he can go show her in his invention. So
Mhm.
by the time he got home, they looking at him like, "Who was you with?" And it just seemed very scandalous and stuff. Julie Romaine said, "Hi, all. Hey, how you doing, Julie?" Um, so to make the long story short, his invention ends up selling and makes $100 million. So he
Mhm.
buys his ex-wife. She divorced him and everything. He tried to beg her at the divorce proceedings and everything. So he comes back, bought her house back, and gave her 100 million, no, $10 million, something like that, right? That's Dr.
Mhm.
Dre's 100 million, but he gave him $10 million. So somebody said, "Oh man, um, I was my late friend yesterday. She said something as a point of, well, look what he took her through, and whoop whoop. I said, well, that was at the first half.
Mhm.
She started. She when she got a divorce, she started kicking with this other guy and her brother and her sisters and her brother-in-laws and everything. This dude done got $100 million. After he been kicked out the house and everything with his all his belongings in the bag. Now, they kept astounding on what he took her through. For like 4 or 5 years, she worked, he wasn't working and whatever, right?
Mhm.
But when he came back and gave her $10 million, now
The game change.
see, and I brought that up because if you had your ex, Julie said, forget Dre, I like M, laugh out loud. I was right. The challenge would be like, if you was to do something, would you do something nice for your ex? See your old producer
Yeah, I have. I have actually done that.
gave him
Actually, I'm
$10 million
surprised.
dollars, or was being
No, I wouldn't
nice.
have given. I was being nice. I haven't been blessed with that amount yet. It's coming though. But I have done something of that nature, but not in that financial amount. But I have been nice to my ex before, in a way, and no matter how bad it was, I still did. I did the opposite of what people would have thought that I should have done.
Julie said it depends which ex.
Well,
My
yeah,
thing
I mean the
is,
ex is my ex-wife. Like I did more for them. All the stuff that she put me through, I still was doing. And now that she is an ex, I have still done since then.
well, wait a
There's
minute.
just the heart that
Julie
is broken.
said it depends which ex. Now I heard what you just said. It's the ex. Why is he an ex then? It depends on it. Like, oh, it sounds like when I used to have breakups with someone, I'll say, it's not you, it's me. Is that what's going on,
Don't ever
Julie?
be
Like,
saying that.
I mean, okay, I brought that movie up because of this is a challenge. So, remember we started Tuesday. Are you been on that? Christine, I saw your prayer on Facebook. So did you put that on
I
after
think.
the show Tuesday that we challenging about recognizing these demons, right?
Mhm.
In ourselves and others. Now it seems like so many people think it's wait a minute, Richard King had me cracking up. Richard King said, no, it was her on her. That I guess he ain't gonna help his ex and stuff,
No.
You see, the challenge is something that it seems like it's a sacrifice, something that you would go beyond your norm. In psychology, we study norms. Like every morning you get up and you put sociology really, you put your left foot in your pants first before you even put your right, and you don't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? That's a norm for you. Or you put your right leg in. You understand what I'm saying, Christina? So, hey, Megasha, a rectangle came on. Megasha's, I don't know if that's a smiley face, but she's letting us know she's in. Just one of the world famous comedians, Megasha Jackson, who's in. You Miss Uniqueness. Uh-oh, her thing stopped. You froze up there. I'm gonna let her get herself situated, then she'll come back in. Um, I'm bringing these subjects up because when we say a challenge, and sometimes the challenges are goofpot challenges, challenges that doesn't do no um, build up of your moral character or for yourself. Julie said if if it was an ex I had in my 20s, sure I would help him because he's a good man. However, if it was the guy I was going to marry, it would be hell no. He put me through. He put me through this narcissistic narcissistic crap for years. Okay. It seems like Julia is not taking that challenge to be nice to her next. I like if people put in cap letters, hell no. So they meant that shit. But sometimes when we said a challenge, and our challenge was to recognize demons in other people and see them for being good. It's just that they not letting that demon take control, even in ourselves. We quick to point out how somebody else triggered. There was this one person that used to tell me that every reaction has a proaction, which meaning that, well, if you say something, I'm gonna have to say something back. If you do something, I'm gonna have to do something back. I've never understood when someone in the first place cheated on someone and then that other person say, well, I cheated on them. And to me, I'm like, why don't you just go your separate way and be with the person instead of cheating with? So, oh, that's what it was. That's what Julie said it right, cause and effect. But sometimes, what gets me is when someone says to take the higher road. Why should that be my um, why should that be my push or persona to be the better person? You ever been where here's this person can act a fool, even like at a job but when it comes to you, it's magnified. You should have took the higher ground. So I've been taking this challenge. Missing Uniqueness again.
Okay, I was going through a bad area.
Oh, Richard King said I wouldn't piss on my ex if she was on fire. See, some things we have to just go on and we sing these New Year Day songs where all acquaintance be forgot. We got to throw that stuff out in the past, man, and stuff because I don't think I can see anybody on fire, and I don't think I'm gonna even think about pissing on them. So I would probably try to roll them around or something because some of the alcohol I use, I piss on them up. Shoot. You like,
Right.
but sometimes we think and we hold harbingers, and this is the challenge I would tell anybody. If you was to go through your whole life and ask to, forgive every single person who done anything to you. Julie, hey, you know what? I said that myself. I thought that myself. She said, I swear the universe sends me all the assholes. Laugh out loud. Sometimes, though, now, this is going to step on a few people's toes because sometimes we have to look at our own selves to wonder why something ain't working. Some people make up in their mind, well, I'm a good person. I knew I was this and that. But have you asked the person? See, I want people to challenge themselves of, let me look at myself first before I look at others. Why am I getting these assholes from the universe?
I mean, that's what you attract. Like, that's what I felt the same way. But sometimes people are attracted to you for what they think you can do. Like, good people sometimes attract bad vibes. And the reason why I say this, you got some that look for people that are like us and take advantage of them because that's how they get by.
Julie said, true, I'm not perfect, but come on, DV, nasty drunks, criminals, and more. Well, you know what? Some people like I used to be very, very, I was construction, I was thuggish, I had braids and everything. And women would say to me, oh, I like a bad boy. But you can't tame, when you attracted to that certain person, you can't expect them to all of a sudden be Father Hannity. There's pros and cons to each one.
First impressions, though, sometimes they paint a picture of who they are to get in. And then once they get in, you learn the real them. Or you start to see things different. They're going to do what they got to do to get in, to put on the show. But if you, like me, you sit back and you pay attention to different things, you start noticing little changes. They start
Wait a
doing
minute.
some bogus stuff,
Uh-huh.
you know.
And I'm listening to you. Our producer just said women can see when other women are lying, but not me. Wait, our other co-star came in. Let me bring him on in and stuff.
It's a good
What's up
subject
with
for
you,
Big
Big
Hank.
Hank?
I'm telling
What's
you.
going on, Roy? What's happening? What's going
You
on
got
with
What's
it.
you?
up?
Oh, you got it, man. How you doing?
I'm good. What's up, Miss Uniqueness?
What's up, Big Hank?
You already know. You already know, man. Sorry for being late, man. I was up to church trying to vacuum and do all the other
Oh,
stuff. I got to get ready for the
I already
weekend.
knew that you
Mm.
was doing the Lord's work. We already say that. Big
Yes,
Hank
sir.
is at you boy. I'd be like, if you was here on time, I would be like, hey man, what's going on? I know you're not putting me before the Lord.
No, no,
Facts.
sir. No, sir.
Be
No,
Hey
like you
man,
sir.
cool and all, but no.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. What Miss Uniqueness over there doing? Where you driving to?
I'm finally outside after this COVID rendition.
she just
Okay,
So
said, I'm gonna hit that road, boy.
okay. That's what's up. That's what's
I
up.
got two shades lighter. It's time to get back dog.
I ain't mad at you, man. I
She
ain't
said,
mad at you.
dog. It's
Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
what's the subject today, Roy?
well, we're astounded on the challenge. Are you, we was talking about the challenge. Have you took or have taken a challenge? And I was astounded about how we said the 72-hour challenge is about, recognizing those demons.
Yeah, trying
Yeah,
to be. Yeah,
yeah, it's
when you see it pop up, or you feel it pop up, you're supposed to knock that back down.
exactly.
Right,
And so Julie, we have a lady on the side, Julie Romaine, who's listening, and she's been interacting with us. And she was talking about how she she seems to attract the assholes of the universe, right?
right.
And so I said, well, sometimes with ourselves. And so she just sent this in. I want to bring it on the screen. She said, hell, I attract them even when I'm not looking for them. The guys I
Yeah,
was going to marry, he was a former cop, good guy, but he had narcissistic,
Nar- narcissistic.
yeah, see, Big Hank is a USC graduate. He always helps me with certain words.
It's good to have one of
I
them in your
tried to say
life.
the word earlier, and I think Julie tried to set me back up
I
by
had to help
bringing
you
it back.
up. I had to help you out because I saw you
Hey,
stumbling. I saw you fumbling. I got, nigga, I
earlier,
got you,
hey, I
nigga.
fumbled earlier. I think she put the word back on again because I'm gonna read the text, but she had the same word, and I'm like narcissistic,
Nigga,
narcissistic.
ah, shit. I got you, girl.
Wait, say the word again.
Narcissistic.
Personality disorder.
Yeah,
And
that
so
one. That one.
what he said,
Yeah,
I'll be like what he said. But she
yeah.
said, I always know when a man is cheating, so I can't win. Laugh out loud.
Right.
Sometimes, Julie, if I was you, I would offer this challenge. For one, if you ain't looking for them and not looking because man, Richard King crazy. He said that's why I like dogs. See, my thing with me, and you can take the same challenge that I've done, where when I was looking, it seemed like sometimes I'm not taking, and I had to start looking at myself first.
Mhm.
What is it that I like? You can't take something like a hood rat and hope that you're going to have a high-powered accountant or a lawyer. You
Right.
got to.
You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. That
Yeah,
one.
it is. I was going to let you say that.
You can't, you can't put a pig on a wig and call her a hoe and put out there on PCH,
Yeah.
man. You can't do it, man.
So she's saying someone, but look.
Yeah.
I tell anybody when you get with someone new, treat them completely like they knew.
Right.
I've seen people, it was a turnoff to me. I dated this woman, and all she was her ex husband this and her ex
Yeah.
husband that.
Yeah.
And I put my pants on. Oh, it remind me of,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, I don't wear skirts. So every time I put my pants on, it's going to remind you of them. But the
Yeah.
thing is, if we treat every person that you meet, if you're in a relationship, now Big Hank is married and he's
Yeah.
happily married.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wife is
But
happily
but
married.
but but I've had relationships before, man, and what I do know is that you can't bring that baggage from that last relationship or the other bad relationships into a new relationship and think that it's gonna get better or it's
Yeah,
gonna be better. Because
and and Julie,
if you bringing the same shit, if you keep on doing the same shit you always been doing, you're gonna keep on getting the same shit you always been getting. Period.
so let me ask you, Big Hank, because you've been in, and now you in a happy marriage.
Yes, sir.
So can I say you basically challenge yourself to be the different person because you are
Yes.
different.
Yes. 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 And I'm gonna tell you this. My wife loved me different. You know what I mean? She loved me so much that it made me different, change. That's how much my wife loved me, and she changed me. Nigga, I ain't never been no one girl dude. You know what I'm saying? Always playing around and messing around, but she loved me into not fucking around on her. So there it is there, man. So you really got to find the right one, baby. You
And see,
really do.
that's the challenge that I've been going through. You know this, Murray, because
Yeah,
I was really bad. I mean, the LL Cool J song was really me. Judy got a big old butt. I
yeah,
know I said that I'll be true, but Judy got a big old butt.
yeah.
And next thing you know, is I felt like my wheels is running in the mud. I'm not really going nowhere. And it
Right.
seems like, and I feel what Julie was saying. I thought I
Yeah,
was getting the a-holes from the universe, Julie. But
yeah,
then I start recognizing that it's me sometimes.
yeah, yeah.
I mentioned the other day that sometimes one of my things is that people know I'm a comedian, I have my podcast, but then the other days I kind of like I get up in the morning, I kind of like quiet.
Yeah.
And people will assume that I have an attitude.
Right. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I'm not a morning person. You know what I mean? And so and sometimes my wife think I'll be having an attitude. I'm like, no, I got that shit from the penitentiary. Ain't nothing funny and fun about waking up in a pen, you know what I mean? So niggas always frowned up and there ain't nothing funny about waking up in the penitentiary. Nigga, I'll keep waking up with this nigga right here every day.
Yeah.
So so a nigga automatically wake up and nigga put that scowl on his face. And so I kind of still got that a little bit. I'm trying to get out of it, but I still got that a little bit, and I know I'm working on it.
And see, there's a challenge
Yes.
of working on yourself. Now, I don't know what this is. He said, I found you in a dress, Roy. You ain't never found Roy in no dress. You ain't never found me. He said, shake
Better
your
not,
pen.
nigga. Better not.
Man, they know better than that, for real. I tell people when I go to the doctor, I have never ever had an annual exam with no fingers. My doctor tells me to fast for 12 hours and he takes my blood and urine. Then he'll tell me I ain't never took a finger. My blood is so virgin that I still when I put it. And so, but matter of fact, bringing that up, I was laughing about this one dude, Big Hank. I said that before he went in, he was like, he farted like this, but then when he came out, he was farting like this. But Julie said, I want to go back on this where she said she's secretly seeing.
She
See,
what? She
she
what?
said she's secretly. She said, tell me how I changed that. She
She
said,
secretly what?
I'm secretly seeing. Well,
She
he's like
secretly
that.
seeing somebody?
Yeah. And my
Oh,
thing is,
you asking for problems if you secretly seeing somebody.
there it is, Julie. I'm saying
Come
the
on,
same
man.
thing
Come on,
because
man. You
you
third
are
wheel.
right. You are a flower. I could tell by her word choices and everything she's intelligent because nobody
Right.
from the hood would say a word. I didn't even know how to pronounce that word.
Narcissistic.
Yeah,
Narcissistic.
what he said. but but everything like I've had ladies, and the first thing I ask them is, they talk and they show me, and I say, "Are you married?"
Right.
Because I got a respect for people who are married and in
And,
relationships. I always
and
ask them.
respect for that union. That's a union, man. You gotta have respect for that union.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't want my wife to stepping out.
That part. There it is right there,
Yeah.
man. Yes, sir.
And so she said, well, poor choice of words. He hasn't actually said I'm a secret. It's just that we haven't told anyone yet.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
you know what? And that's cool to me
Yeah.
because sometimes I feel like the song say, me for you, you for me, we against the world. She said neither of us are married. Well, that's you
That's
know,
cool.
who
That's it.
cares if anybody else knows? This ain't friends. The show friends. So what happens in your room and everything, people will know it and stuff, you
Yeah.
know. But I don't believe that you're supposed to let people know if you're in a relationship or not. They'll find out if you
They gon'
talk.
they gonna see it. Yeah, they gonna see it. You ain't gotta announce it on making Facebook official and all that shit. You ain't gotta do none of that.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? OG told me one time that back in the days when he was being church, that couples would show up and they just assume that they're married because they together. You don't
Right.
have to bring out no paperwork or nothing like that.
Right.
You know, nobody say, she said, I feel like a dirty little secret though. Wait, the whole world, this isn't MSN.com. You, I feel like our producer said, nope, you do you, Julie. No one needs to know. I've seen, as long as y'all have an understanding.
Right.
Sometimes people need to work with each other before you start, because sometimes I've seen people get in a relationship and actually know they talking to their friends and he's this and he's that, and then they giving their 2 cents in and whoop de
Right.
whoop. Y'all find each other out.
That
Leave the
part.
rest of the world out. It ain't changed. It ain't going nowhere.
It ain't going nowhere. Gonna be the same way tomorrow.
Same way. So that's what's wrong nowadays. People getting. I'm so tired of hearing about these other people's relationships. She said she asked you a question, Big Hank. She said, Big Hank, how did you go from a heap of women to just one? He's the same. Well,
Man,
we talking about that, Julie.
I'm gonna tell you how I did it. First of all, I got a beautiful wife who loved me enough, you understand me, to bring me around to wanting to just love one. You dig what I'm saying? And then also, you don't want somebody doing to you what you see them other people doing. You don't want nobody playing around on you, so why would you want to play around on somebody else? But it does take the right one. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that because I did used to say that I was just in a single relationship, but I had 3 relationships and 3 single relationships at the same time. But I don't do that no more. I'm married, me and my wife happily married, and we're gonna keep it that way.
And I vouch for him too, Julie. And
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
between him and 3030 and Richie King, even, I be like, wow. I've been
Yeah.
looking at myself and challenging and stuff because
Yeah.
I've never looked at the same woman longer than 2 years. The longest relationship I've been in is 2 years. And after 8 months, it was like it's like pancakes to me, right? Each pancake is worth a year. I've never been through 2 pancakes. Now, hey, I've been through a lot of French toast,
Yes, sir.
but and I be trying. So, okay, she said I'm okay with him having one or two, but not a harem. See now,
What?
see, like that song. I don't care what you do to them, just be
Just
good
be
to me.
good to me. Yeah. Yeah.
It's up. But we're glad, Julie. Even our producer, glad to see you on here, Julie. Roy's my
Appreciate you.
friend. She and good people on here. Thank you
Yeah.
about that, man. That's our head producer. And
We
so,
appreciate you, Julie. We appreciate your input, Julie.
yeah, Megasha
Yep.
Jackson, she has said that's crazy. What we're talking, because the thing is that people, if we don't talk about it, how would they know? One of
Right.
the things I pride that our show is not based upon, people thought we would be talking all goofy and outrageous and embarrassed. We have pastors even listening to our show.
Yes, sir.
See, the thing I want people to understand is that in our lives, we challenge ourselves. We are from the streets.
Yes, sir.
Me and I was like, I bettered myself. I kept going to school, became a civil designer and stuff. And I didn't come in a pristine home. I didn't have a
Right.
computer. They used to laugh at me. I had notebook paper rolled up and I just pulled it out. And now I work for, I feel like it's the number one engineer firm in the US. And
Yeah.
I never say their name because the things that I say, I don't want it to reflect from them. But
Right.
everybody who's listening to this, appreciate me being here at 4:37 a.m. Like, where you coming from, Julie?
4:37 a.m. What the fuck?
Yeah.
She must
She
be on the
must
other.
be in
She must be on
another
the other
country.
side of the world. She on the other side of the world.
Oh, she's somewhere because it's 4:37. I know the some of the people in Germany would hit me up, but it'd be like 10:30, their time or whatever the time is.
4:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she said, I'm in Australia. Remember? Oh, that's right. That's Julie. I remember on the speaker, I had her baby was dancing.
Where's
And
she
so
at?
she's in Australia.
Okay, yeah, that might be it. Yeah, that's where she at on the other side of the world. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
that is an honor, Julie. I
Yes, dude.
appreciate that. 4:30 in the morning, she's listening to us. Way to
Appreciate
start
you,
your day.
Julie.
And
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, lady.
she was on. I did the low riders and funk music, and on one
Okay.
of the episodes for the streaker through the Woe Entertainment, Woe Hideout,
Okay.
and so.
Okay. That's what's
But
up.
I tell anybody, Big Hank, we challenge ourselves.
Yes,
No
sir.
one forced us to make a change.
Yeah.
Y'all, I really paid attention when I saw Big Hank bringing Crips and Bloods to the church to do a video called Jesus is Real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we did do, man. Brought it back together, man. Blood cousins. That's what we are.
And you know what, man? And if that wasn't a challenge,
Mm-hmm.
just to bring the cats together like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, like I be seeing nephew Michael. He's
Yes, sir.
another one, rock box, another one where we've actually challenged ourselves to say, hey, um, um, I'm not going to do this or do that. Or when you hear the word challenge, to me, it makes it seem like I'm going to push myself.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna challenge myself. Yeah.
You ever, I'm very spiritual. I'm
Yeah.
not, a religious person. I'm not going to go to church all the time and stuff, but I believe in God and His Son who gave me salvation through His Son. That's what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when what I do line myself up with is with the Word of God. Now, do I read the Bible all the time? No.
Mm-hmm.
I go with what I feel like it's a manual, basic instructions before leaving
Before
Earth.
leaving Earth. Yes, sir.
So
BIBLE. Basic instructions before leaving Earth.
yeah, so I take some of the things that been helping me, and then I grow more on it. One of the things was I used to hate myself, which caused me to hate you.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started challenging myself, and you're absolutely right, Julie. I'm the same way. I believe that you don't have to go to church. The church doesn't make
No.
you a Christian.
No.
I don't
Not at
like.
all.
Yeah, Big Hank will tell you. I don't like when God somebody's up in the church and, "Ah," and like God is only touching them. We all sitting up there looking at you. I don't, you know. But the challenge myself was to love my neighbor as I love myself.
Yes.
But I used to hate myself.
Mm-hmm.
I used to didn't like being dark skinned when I'm in a family of light skinned people and
Yeah.
stuff with the peasy hair, and they got the nice curly hair and stuff like that. Low self esteem. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it made me
LSD.
dislike myself. So I be out in the
LSD.
streets not liking you because I don't
Right.
like you.
And I'm finna take this shit out on you. Yeah.
Exactly. They was fighting in my household, my stepfather, my mother, and she jump on me, and I'm jumping on my brother, and he cried and called him, and I'm getting another. But it seemed like it was chaos, and I
Yeah.
was always you black this and you black that, so it made me have a dislike.
Yeah.
But then when I started loving myself
Yes, sir.
and recognizing what God has put me through,
Right.
because what don't kill you make you stronger.
Yeah.
Julie said, I always wanted brown eyes, but I had blue. Gonna turn my brown eyes blue. Some people want blue eyes. But I tell anybody to challenge yourself on something. If there's a coworker, somebody you don't like, come to them like the word say. Treat your enemies with love. It's like heaping hot coals of fire on their heads.
Man, you know that Bible, man. You know that Bible for real, man. You playing around, man. You
Man,
know
it's
that
better than
Bible,
my
man.
heart. It's better than my heart, bro.
Yeah.
I tell people I'm not going to worship Moses and Noah and all that. My thing was through their lives is to recognize the relationship that you can have with God.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I can't call on Moses and something's going to happen.
No, no. Moses can't help you. Moses
Shadrach,
could
Meshach, and
Moses couldn't
Abednego.
help him. Moses couldn't help himself. He had needed
There it
Jesus.
is.
He needed Jesus, the God. Yes, sir.
Yep. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I,
Yep.
I, I don't worship them.
No. Hey, but
Now,
them three cats right there in the Bible, I wouldn't have been hanging around with them cats because they be like, man, you finna go in the fire with Shadrach. No, what in the what? No, I ain't
well,
you
you
want me to
ain't gonna
bow down? You
worship.
want me to bow down now? I bow down now. Shit, I
Oh,
ain't
you
going in no
about
fire.
Hey,
They be
right
like,
when you
you
see,
was hanging out with Shadrach, Meshach, and the bed. No, what? No, I don't even know Shadrach,
hey,
Meshach, and I don't know them niggas. I don't know neither one of
hey,
them.
wait a minute. Right when they open up that fiery door, and the ones who opened it, they died. They be like, "Where you want me to?" Is they about to blow that horn right now?
Can I bow my head? I bow my knee and my head right now. I'll be bowed down, man. I'm bowed down.
Well, see,
Bowed
the
down.
challenge is they didn't know they was willing to die for their beliefs.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
We
they told him.
teasing everybody, but I know
Yeah.
I'm willing to die for my beliefs.
Yes, sir.
I'd
Yeah.
rather die on my feet than live the rest of my life on my knees.
That part right there, man. Yes, sir.
So why, I tell people just because you see us look like this, you don't know our integrity. This man is a USC graduate. Look, I was teasing him. I can't even imagine where every time he scored a touchdown in the
Yeah.
Coliseum, you holding that football up like this and everybody screaming, Henry Norman,
Yeah.
Henry,
Hank
man,
Norman. Yeah, Hank Norman. Yes, sir, man. And it was
Hank Norman,
100,000,
Hank
80, 90, 100,000 people, man, there every Saturday. And we was on TV.
Hank Norman, man.
Hank Norman. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
And Julie, you said, well, how did he do it? She said, Roy can't say, what's that word, Big Hank?
Narcissistic.
What he said, laugh out loud. Narcissistic.
Narcissistic.
It must be something
Narcissistic.
I'm not plagued with because I sure don't know how to say it. You call me black so much, I knew what that was since a little kid. But I have never been that. What is that word? What does that mean? Like, is that someone with different personalities or something?
Something like that. Yeah. They stuck on themselves and yeah.
Julie, how do you define that? And she's coming from Australia and
Nar-
stuff.
a narcissist is a person that's in love with themselves and think more of themselves than what they should be and all that kind of stuff, man. And they only think of them. They don't give a damn about you.
That sounds like the ultimate of selfishness.
Yes, sir. Narcissist. That's what they call Donald Trump, a narcissist.
She said that someone that gaslights a lot.
I don't know what that is. What's
Is that must
gaslight?
be an Australian term,
Yeah,
Julie. We over
gaslight.
here. You got to talk to us like you got to listen to some NWA albums and everything.
Gotta
Oh,
go to
she said
South.
they
You
blame
gotta
you
come to
for their
South
actions.
Central. You gotta come to South Central.
Yeah, they blame you
Blame
for their actions. They'll break you down.
that part. That part. That's what the motherfuckers is.
Man, that's crazy though. So that's a person be like, they stumble and fall. Why do you fix the rug?
Yeah, yeah,
Motherfucker, you
yeah.
the one who tripped.
Motherfucker, you the only one tripping over the rug, motherfucker. Everybody else pick their feet up when they walk.
Oh, so
Slew footed.
when I've ran across people like they want to blame somebody else because of
Yeah,
something they went to. Oh, I'm
yeah,
gonna get them too. Once I get that word down, I'm gonna make some homies mad. You narcissistic. Did I
yes,
say it
sir.
right?
Narcissistic. That's it.
Hey, tell me. I challenged myself.
Narcissistic.
I
That's it.
challenged myself to say that word correctly.
That's what's up.
Narcissistic. See, now when I'm thinking about it.
You got it.
But you know what? When we challenge ourselves, we see our world, and yet, like what we've been seeing, like these children being kidnapped.
Mm.
We've been seeing these people who tried to take over the U.S. I thought these people supposed to be lined up and shot. Isn't that treason?
To take over the U.S.
Yeah, that's what it was, right? When you rushed the Capitol, what was you trying to do?
Yeah, that's a traitor.
Isn't that trying to go against our
Yeah, yeah.
and then people say they're real American. See, I ain't got a true understanding. What was they supposed to accomplish if they did that? Now you going in there talking about you gonna kill somebody. Now you talking about can I get probation? Wait a minute.
Yeah, they was gonna hang. They was gonna hang. What's the vice president? What's his name?
Mike Pence.
Yeah, they was gonna hang Mike Pence. They was gonna get the machines, change all the numbers so Donald Trump could win. And they and if they didn't, they were gonna take over and say Donald Trump won anyway. We in here, y'all can't. Nigga, that shit ain't gonna
Well,
go
what
there.
gets me is that they done had the polls rechecked 3 or 4 times. And Julie, I'm gonna have to go with I can't agree with you on this last statement you did though, because that's something he was former President Trump was trying to say that the insurrection started on election. They know, man, you lost.
Yes, it.
Donald
Period.
Trump doesn't have the personality of taking a loss. The
Period.
conspiracy of knowing that he wasn't really built for the position in the first place, he
Right.
already has planted a seed of that. I'm gonna take loss because it just needed. I've always liked Donald Trump before this politics situation.
Me too. Me too.
I
He
used
was
to
all
love
right
him
with
on
me
that
too.
show. You are
He was
fired.
he
He
was all
didn't
right.
hesitate.
Yeah, he was all right with me too.
Yeah, but when you I don't understand where even if you down with a certain group, you don't announce it because now I'm looking at some people ask me, she just asked me, do you actually honestly think he lost fairly? I'm gonna explain this to you, Julie,
Of course
as
he
being a
lost.
black man in America. This is what I've been taught since I was a kid. For one, all them jokers have dinner and everything. It's like the WWE. They know who they're gonna have a battle with and all that. I always felt that our Congress, I don't know how they do in Australia, but I noticed that our Congress in the Senate is made of a whole bunch of elderly people. And with that, I was always taught from my grandfather that White House is always going to have, no matter who's in there, you're going to have to do what you got to do. If you was to talk to any typical general person in this population who really cares about what's happening in taxes, you worried about trying to pay for your shelter over your head and bills. Julie be coming up with some words that she just tested me. She, she said we have a bicameral
Bicameral. I don't know
system
bicameral
the
system.
same as America's. I don't know.
Bicameral.
Y'all have the sticks that come back. Y'all have scenarios where I don't see the Australian police militarizing themselves. And the people that and I'm glad you said that. They said the people that they are arresting for election fraud, guess what they was? They was Republicans. They wasn't Democrats. See, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I have a friend, William Rodriguez Morrison is running for mayor of LA, but he's Republican. He doesn't hang. I think that when you hear people say Republican, I think Richie King and Shelley and them are Republicans. They're not that type of where is where they're fighting. He said no, both parties. See, I'm a free American. I believe in the United States. I don't believe in Republicans and Democrat stuff, man. To me, I don't understand what the world they talking about. Because if I go by statistics, I make more money when Republicans are in office because of infrastructure. President Joe Biden just signed in a $2 trillion infrastructure that makes me feel like he's both. He's little Democrat and Republican. They got one guy. There was 5 or 6 people that was arrested in Florida, and from the they got a area by Mar-a-Lago where they was arrested, where they was doing fraud with the voting. They was Republicans. They was trying to get, but see, it's not enough when you say isolate. We're talking about 81 million people. There's 300 million people in the U.S. And if it wasn't legit, then why are Republicans making it extra illegitimate by taking out the polling places in minority areas right now in Texas and Georgia?
Mm-hmm.
That's a ploy.
Mm-hmm. It's a tactic.
Look, I'm gonna tell you. Somebody asked me, "Is Biden's presidency?" It isn't a president. He just has more mercy. He's not helping us in the states. You know who's helping me in the state is Governor Galvin Newsom, who signed them reparations to the blacks. No one knows what you've gone through until you've been through it. They took a beach that Manhattan Beach belonged to a black family because they wouldn't let us come down to Redondo Beach and all that. So they made their own piece of the beach. The government got this thing called dominant domain or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And see, how would anyone know? He said 81 million didn't vote for. How would you know that? You don't know 100,000 people, let alone say 81 people. Our producer said 81 people didn't. How would you know that? So you gonna tell me 71 voted for Trump? You see, that's what I'm saying. There's no way you can tell that. That's a speculation. That is an assumption.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people, stop making assumptions. I don't know. He's in the White House. So many people voted for him. They trying to blame governors on the COVID. I've been in the airport, man, for the past 3 months, Big Hank. Do you know cats still using the toilets and stuff and walking out without washing their hands?
That's some nasty shit. That's nasty, homie.
What do you mean the number? He said the numbers don't add up. 300 million people in the U.S. 81 is only 1/3 of 300 million. Where it wouldn't add up. See, people don't want to see, and this is where I tell people that we are not understanding when we're saying what is what. Where you may be healthy because Richie has other aspects that how they would eat certain things and everything. He eats from the stuff that they grow. He doesn't even live in the major city part where every day you come out and you see small.
Yeah.
And I say the same thing, Julie. Look here. You were saying, well, look, I'm saying the same thing. You know, one of the things I say, I do not believe, why is our Senate made of lawyers? I feel like lawyers should be in the scenarios of like if you catch a criminal case or you have a civil case, you don't have the right wordings, so you get the lawyer behind. Our whole Senate is ran by lawyers that construct words that I can't say, like narcissistic.
And bicameral.
And bicameral. I had to use a USC graduate to get communication, so now I know we're talking about. Wait a minute, what did bicameral mean?
No shit.
What does that mean? We know what narcissistic mean. They blame that on somebody else and stuff. They said 350 million people voted, only 323 million eligible. How do you know this? Whoever's telling you that information, who guarantees it's the truth? The word tells us to find every man a lie and God the truth. Why would I believe one particular person?
Yeah.
Who cares who the president is? I love the producer of Woe Entertainment. We know him. I don't, man, all all of that is, see, you're asking and they want to hear our point, but we're not into politics like that. I'm into fair judgment. I'm into let's change up this judicial system.
Yeah.
She said of two houses. She knows more about the U.S. than I do. The House of Representatives and the Senate.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
by
tell
camera.
Julie is very
That's
intelligent on that
that's
stuff.
by camera. That's by camera.
He's our president of our United States. Let me tell y'all something. When we go into another country, and Julie know this, when we go to Australia, they don't say, "Oh, he's a black American." They call you an American.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the president of your United States? Oh, President Joe Biden. Who was there before him? Oh, former President Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give a rat's about me. I'm not saying they can't look individually at it. This is a one podcast. Few people's on here, meaning we can't speak for the United States. I can only speak about myself, challenging to do a better role.
Yeah.
Because I don't care how much you obtain the power in the world, when death comes, there's nothing. You're not taking it with you, none. Listen,
Right.
this lady's husband died. He was worth $10 million. And they had an argument. He like, I'm going to take all my money. So he requested all his money be buried with him. So when the funeral came, his wife wrote a check and laid it on his chest.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
How
you
about
shouldn't
that
have no problems cashing this wherever you're going.
Wherever you go. Wherever you go. Yeah.
I had to worry about myself, my family, my friends. And if I do meet President Trump, if I meet President Donald Trump, he didn't do nothing personal to me. He told a racist group, stand back, stand strong.
Yeah.
It didn't affect me. But I'm not going to go to lose my freedom and everything because this man encouraged you to go to that. That's why I can't understand. I heard him with my ears.
Mm-hmm.
When I seen all that, I kept saying, ooh, President Donald Trump going to jail.
Yes, sir.
Let's go fight for our freedom.
He told the people, let's go.
Yep.
March down there right now. Let's go.
Man, I said, see, I don't
and
know.
And he told him, I'm going to be right there with you. And he didn't go nowhere.
He didn't go. He said, I'm marching right there.
I'll be right there with you. I'll meet you guys there. I'll be right there as soon as you. Nigga, he didn't. That nigga stood up in the room.
Eating popcorn, microwave popcorn in the Oval Office. She said, I fail to see how Trump is right. I never said he was. I said he honored a racial group. Because Proud Boys ain't against blacks. I ain't never heard them say, but they're against Jewish people and Latinos. And when you got the president endorsing you, you feeling like, hey, I'm above the law.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what pictures you saw, Julie, but to us blacks, the Confederate flag brings up a time when they owned slaves. As far as some of them seen, and because I seen two different parts of racial history when on that day, because I seen Confederate flags and then I seen a noose. That's why I don't use the word picnic. Picnic came from when 2- and 3-year-olds couldn't say the word correctly, but it was a big festivity for a group of whites to go pick up blacks or find a black to hang him, and it was called pick a nigga. The little babies couldn't say it correctly because they gonna get candy and all that. They would have celebrations with a black man hanging in the background. I can show you the actual pictures. It went on. It was called a lynching. No, that stuff was not bullshit. They try to. It also gets me when they try to say that not that he just said that stuff was bullshit.
No.
Richie, when blacks and stuff, when people don't affected by them, I'm just saying this, they was getting lynched. That's where the word picnic came from.
Yes, exactly.
Whether you want to believe it or not, and
Come
stuff.
from pick a nigga. That's where it
And
came
the
from.
Confederate flag was used to signify the southern countries, the southern states that was
Yeah.
over where they made more money than the North, especially with the cotton.
Representing slave.
Exports and imports was going through the South. Oh, he said, no, I'm agreeing with you. My beg my pardon. Hey, he wasn't against it. He was saying that stuff was bullshit.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
beg my
yeah,
pardon.
yeah,
He wasn't
yeah.
saying
Yes,
that.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And Richie knows, he knows the history of it because when he tells us about the Trail of Tears, they killed all these Native Americans.
That was some cold shit right there.
People don't understand Native Americans going through it now with pipelines.
Mm-hmm.
They constantly want to desecrate these people's land. Damn, you done took the whole thing from me. Now the area that we
Took
got, you still
took
want to put
all
pipe
yeah,
there.
took all the shit from him. Took all the shit from him,
Yeah.
man.
Well, see, when we say something, and people who don't know their history, because I tell someone, like, okay, I've never had cancer. Big Hank, you never had cancer.
Not that I
Blue
know
Phoenix
of.
has been fighting cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Someday she has. Look, somebody in her family came knowing that they had COVID, knowing that she doesn't have an immune system, and came around her for the holidays.
Wow.
Now, I can't tell her, girl, stop tripping. Get up off of there. It ain't
Right.
all that serious. Why, you know why I can't say that? Because I have never been through it.
Yes, sir.
I've never been through chemotherapy. I've never been through none of that. Then Richard King begged my pardon because I was surprised. He was like, no, but he was saying that stuff was bullshit.
Yeah.
Because on January 6th, they did have nooses. What was the nooses meaning?
Yeah. Me, motherfucker, we'll do this shit again. You motherfuckers don't get right. See,
Yeah,
that's what it means. Motherfuckers
I
don't get
never
right. We
felt,
start this
yeah,
shit again.
I never felt that former President Donald Trump was racist. I felt that the love of money is the root of all evil. That man loves money. He
Mm-hmm.
was taking people's dollars. I read the story where this old senior guy and stuff, and he went to pledge $500, and they just soaked his savings account because there's a box that's already checked that you want to give continuous amount of money.
Yeah.
That soaked that man. So when they heard the story, do you think that they gave him some money back? The people in jail that went up there, look, they saying like, hey, you can't tell me, oh, I was a true American. You broke the law. Oh, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
heathen. They gonna get mad at Ted Cruz for I'm gonna call him. That was a terrorist act. You always
Mm.
trying to clean up when okay, let us hey, you, me, Michael Netherly, Big Ski, Rock Box, carry 3030. We go up to the Capitol building, take over. What are we doing an American way? Are we insurrectionists? Or are we Big ain't coming back in? We about to be leaving off. This is a subject pick up another day. I love what you said, Richard. The action of those was ignorant. I was past too, but we have established laws. See, there's the thing. I was taught democracy. Next thing you know, I see our democracy change. We done got whooped over our backsides and our heads by teenagers. We walking. We found out who has authority. That's what they said. They can stop you on a peaceful night, mess your whole evening up.
Nigga mess your whole life up. Shit. Ask Rodney King. Ask George
He said
Floyd.
we was in
Shit.
a much better shape when Trump. Let me tell you something, Julie. Only thing I have to say about former President Trump is that he destroyed the CDC. With all these different foreigners and coming in our country, we have to be protective over diseases. When you let your own personal see a leader got to put himself to the side. That real leader has to be responsible for. This man's over 300 some millions of people. Say, oh, I can't get sick, but what about these other people? You don't take a personal look at and say their whole thing was, let me come in here and destroy everything President Barack Obama put up.
Yeah. That's what he
That's
was
the
at.
cold
That's what he
commentary.
was at. That's what he was at.
They said we was in the better hands when, look, you don't know what we're going through. What is in better hands from? What, I mean, for real. What's the
Man,
point of creating jobs if you can't work with them because you're sick? I ain't never seen the country be shut down because of a flu. It shouldn't have been shut down then. Who was the president at the time when the country was shut down? All the stuff we've been through, we ain't never shut this country down. The Great Depression was going on. We still didn't shut the country down. I think the only time we should have shut the country down is when AIDS popped up because people thought that you can catch AIDS from a mosquito. But we kept on working. I seen groups of people lose their mind when a mosquito came. Oh, shit. Man, we're going to get off here, man. They said, good show, Roy. Your views are important to Bill. Thanks, man. Oh, yes, but she said Trump is the only one letting all the illegals in. That's Biden. I mean, that, Joe, I'm going to be honest with you, Julie. It was going on even before then. Back when I was a kid, I never get something about layovers happening. All these Laosians was popping up in the U.S., gave them a house, a Toyota car, a grants of open shops. That's when the swap meet started opening up everywhere. They knew more about African culture and Malcolm X and anything than anybody in the black neighborhoods and stuff. And they called them Laosians. You remember that, Big Hank?
yeah, I remember something about that.
And they talk about the current situation. I'm gonna tell you something. God said that David said, I was young and now I'm old, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken or their seed begging for
Beg
bread.
for bread.
She said, I'm talking about the current situation. It trips me out, and I'm glad you brought that up real quick, Judy. We're going to be shutting it down here. We passed a little bit over our time, but the police did another Tulsa, Oklahoma situation down there at the border, Big Hank. They appointed local people to be able to bear guns to keep foreigners from coming across the border.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all the pedophile stuff I've seen going around and all that, how in the world are you going to just appoint somebody, no screening them or anything, by any means necessary to keep them out of this country?
Yeah.
I think that if you're righteous with God, you don't have to worry about it. I've heard in black churches, the Mexicans come and take over our jobs. What job? You ain't out there picking no salary, selling, none of that. Then they do get a job where you at. You know, they gonna work as hard as they can and they make little bit. You know, hey, are we privileged now?
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, much love to you, Big Hank, man. We're gonna break up out of here. Hey man, I got the new opening song from Big Ski yesterday.
All right.
And so that's what we need to get rid of right there. That's the answer. Need to get rid of pedos. That's the answer. But we're gonna come back and talk about that disease Tuesday, man. Because some people keep saying it's fake, but they don't. It's about hygiene. And if you don't want to understand that it's about your hygiene, hey man, we out here, man. I'm out here, big boy.
On?
Hey.
Can you hear me? Is anybody out there? Hey, tune in. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank. Huh? It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show.